Welcome back to the Fire Emblem Fates Revelation Blind Run. Last time, well, the inevitable happened and Anthony betrayed us, but you know what? I'm just gonna say this. Anthony, still a better villain than Hans and Iago. And considering he only had 3 chapters of screen time, that's really saying something. I mean, seriously, Anthony had, in some ways, actual characterization, actual motivation. You kind of felt sad for him when you know, what actually happened to him. He just had everything they don't have.
Absolutely.
And, well, those two don't get supports because Shura has pretty much none. Now, this is a gigantic cluster of characters. The fact that we even have the option to give this to someone at this point is just... yeah, that's just too awful. Maybe?
How thrilling. So...
hey, it's, him and his aunt.
Yep.
And they can't support, unfortunately. That's kind of a shame. Of course, the aunt's support I'd really like is Elise and Forrest, but still.
Sure.
Hey, the 2 Armor Knight, parent and child combo are on resource duty there. That's cool. Okay then. Well, at least she's not squishing bugs. That was part of her deal.
What's that?
Spell... huh? Isn't there already a really good, anti-mage Yumi, the illusionary Yumi? Effective... wait. Wait a minute. Like, as in actual effective bonus against tomes and scrolls? Defense -4 and -10 evasion, but that's... I've never got that before. That is actually really awesome. Speaking of awesome, I also need to forge those bows that I have. The, what are they? The, shining bows? Yeah. Oh, just a peach. And that's all that I can do here, for now. Let's just try a hand of
Thank you for coming.
No, let's try Dawn. Even though we rarely get anything good out of this. Another concoction.
Please come.
You can't exactly forge those together or anything, but an extra one of those could be okay. But yeah, I usually... unless... I'm actually not sure what his is. I'm gonna go for magic, because I have a plan for the next chapter in speed.
This is not good. Huh. Yes.
Eccentric. Okay, then.
Right.
Okay, it's standard. Defense +2 isn't bad. That's actually going to be kind of useful. And with that, it would be arena time. Who's on arena duty today? Let's...
You have breathed your last.
okay.
Need a hand?
Which one of these two am I actually going to go for? Do I feel satisfied in using my Daikon here? You know what? I'm going to do it. Okay, let's go with Arthur because of his better... Really? And they put him against a mage? Of course they do. Well, it makes sense with his luck.
Good luck.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's going to need luck. At least Kagero's got a pretty good chance of finishing this.
I'm here too.
Thank you.
Thank you, sidekick.
She's your wife. Don't call her that. Cavalier. If you're using a sword, I'm going to be very annoyed.
Let's see what they've got.
Okay, you got an Iron Lance, and this looks decent. I'm surprised none of these enemies have any chance of critting with Arthur's personal skill.
Easy target.
Arthur's doubling animation is actually kind of cool here. Okay, that's kind of good, except...
You're out of luck, friend.
There we go!
Taste justice!
That was actually pretty good.
Justice prevails!
I am very glad that I wagered my Daikon on Justice. Speaking of which, I actually might want to promote those two soon, because now I can buy an unlimited number of seals, which is great. I keep examining that golem by accident. It's funny, I put the golem there to protect Lilith, and then it turns out she really doesn't need any protecting. Well, at least not from the invaders we've been facing so far. I mean, from actual My Castle teams that are fully trained up, definitely. But I don't think a golem will be able to save her in that case. I think her magic is 1 off max as well. And A-rank did both those, and that's as far as they go. But they don't really do anything, I don't think. Don't know if they provide a slight bonus to hit rate or anything like that, but yeah. Speaking of which, let me just check the smithy.
Welcome.
Did I put that, let me see. Where was that second, Oh, I can forge lightning. That is actually pretty awesome. Oh, here we go, yeah, Shining Bow. This is going to be a reference to the credit song from one of the Fire Emblem games. I think it was Shadow Dragon. In the Japanese version is called, in English, all caps, In a Shiny Wind. I think the official English title is In the Wind and the Light, but I always found the Japanese title hilarious. And I really want to forge that lightning now. Where is Nyx? There she is. Wait a minute, is that... Wait a minute, let me just go back there. And I accidentally put the name... I can change that name at any time. The might goes up from 1 to 3. That's actually a pretty big increase. Okay, let's see what I should call this. Hey, actually, wait a minute, I've got a good idea. I forget how you spell this, though. That personal weapon from FE5 that Olwen has that is amazing. It's basically a brave spell, just like that.
Thanks for stopping by.
I'm pretty sure I spelled that wrong, but... oh well. And now... it would be FaceTime. It is literally FaceTime! Which part of face should Kamui touch today? How about we touch your mouth and chin? And we're getting close, but I don't think we're quite there for the next bond, so... you know what, I can just keep the screen down here and show the next bond now. Why didn't I think to do that in any of my earlier parts? I probably should have done that. One more and then we get a unique line, that's good.
I love you so much.
And we get the most common line, well, the one that I've most commonly got. And who can we invite in? Rinka, Sakura, Takumi, Gunta. Why is it that Gunta keeps wanting to go here, and yet he can't support? Yes, deep down he wishes that he was able to support, but unfortunately no. Huh. I think I have seen Perry's before, so... let's see Sakura. Have we got any of Sakura's supports? I think we might have got some.
If you don't mind, maybe we could spend more time together. Is that selfish?
I'm currently working on her and Elise at the moment, so, they can spend more time together later. And with that, everything is done except for some supports. But the supports are going to be... Let's just say I'm going to do them a little bit differently here. Look at all these wings in this one area. Oh, also, yeah, Bob the Faceless. So, people pointed out that their headcanon is that Bob is actually a friend of Anthony's, who also turned into a Faceless, and yeah, I'm gonna say that's the case. Call me upgrade. Upgrade the arena. Okay, that's good. In prison, we can upgrade these. Yeah, let's go ahead and upgrade those. That'll help for invasions later. And everything new, I think, is just statues. Look at all these statues. Oh, and the ice sculpture. I have no idea where to place that. I'll maybe put that later. And actually, should I do that before? You know what? I'm going to do the supports first. So, after the last chapter, surprisingly, none of the royals actually unlocked the supports I wanted them to. However, I did do one off-camera skirmish, and they all did, so they must have all been very, very close. I now have every remaining Royal S that I want to do, as well as Ryoma and Xander C. But, I think I'm going to do these S supports one at a time. Basically, my plan from here on is to get one Royal support, then do a paralogue, then get the other and do the next paralogue, and so on. I think I'll be recruiting all the Royal children all in a row now before I go on with the main story. I think that's good, because if I get them any later, none of them will have any time to support their parents. But we've also got some well, this actually is a Royal support, but non-S supports that I can do. I also decided now's as good a time as any to start grinding Felicia and Jacob supports up, and I've heard these are really, really bad, but this is more being done by process of elimination, so yeah. Well, admittedly, Gunther does treat Jacob almost exactly the same way, so he does kind of have an excuse for acting like this. At least in a professional environment, I mean, something like that does kind of make sense, but yeah, apparently as an actual S support, this is going to be kind of bad, but I guess we'll see. And then this, which I don't think we've actually seen before. Now, I think I have heard there's one line, I think it might be in this support or a later one, that's not so much a meme, but a lot of people like to find it hilarious out of context. Yeah, remember how your mother said that you were supposed to be studying? Yeah, this kind of, archer practice bonding thing that's been done in quite a lot of things. Oh, yeah, I'm impressed they actually put a, sound effect in there. Well, I mean, he is your son, so he has inherited some of your brokenness, at least. Yeah. Okay then, yeah, Takumi, you might not want to do that to your own son, because that's going to make them start doubting themselves. And though don't say that either, because Takumi is actually one of the surprisingly better fathers in this game. Excuse me for 1 second. This is the biggest lie anyone has ever told in the history of everything. Yeah, I was stunned into complete silence by this line. And I kind of still am. By the way, this isn't the line that I was talking about. That might happen in the A support. Don't put it like that, Kiragi. Especially when, he could potentially promote into a class weak to bows. Yeah, I do admit he does have that over you. And that's a pretty big thing. But one day, maybe one day in DLC, you will be able to use that bow. Yeah, well, I think you haven't told him about the whole possession thing, though it seems like that hasn't happened on this route. I think maybe on Revelation you got to Takumi just before he would have fallen down the bottomless canyon. In some ways this is kind of true, but it's also his personal skill, and his generally massive crit rate. Huh. This support actually has a lot of development for Takumi. I'm really annoyed that I didn't get this earlier. So, that was a very good support. Now, all I have... Well, actually, wait, I don't have just S supports left. I forgot about this one. About the fact that you're both broken. Complaints that you're showing them up because you're too good. Well, that's because... Roma's been having a bit of talk with your sister and have realized that Kamui was the one thing they had in common, so that's why he's spending more time around him. That makes sense. That makes sense, but again, that wasn't Garen, technically. That's a good point too. And again, he's not technically Xander's father anymore. I was about to say something there, then I realized that's probably spoilers for something later on. Yeah, and a certain someone didn't earn it, and he turned into a faceless and died. That's an interesting support. Yeah, very interesting. And, so the support about Vilma being suspicious of Xander. So, he's about to marry your sister. I am kind of glad that we don't get to see his reaction on screen there, because that would probably, let's just say we might have to be rebuilding large segments of the castle by the time, we get back here. But, yeah, so I'm going to be doing Xander and Hinoka's S support. Reason being, I actually just thought that I could do something kind of interesting. Basically, I could recruit the children in basically the reverse order that I got them in last time. So, Kiragi and Sigbert were the last two royal kids that I got previously. And the first two royal, well, then it was Forest, then it was Shiro. So I'm thinking in reverse order, so I'm thinking that I actually get Sigbert next, then Forest, then Shiro, so I actually do them all in reverse. But because I'm not going to be doing any main story chapters in between, I don't make Shiro's paralogue any harder than it already is, even though I can just rescue staff him. I'll need to check, do I have any rescue staffs? This is just in advanced preparation. Rescue staffs, do I have them? I do not appear to have any, but I can buy those. Need to make sure that I have enough gold for at least 2, because I'm going to need 2 for my plan there. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's time for this. And so far, these two have had a pretty good support, so I'm eager to see where this leads to. Huh, well, okay. Convenient holiday placement. Unfortunately, your brother is really, really suspicious of me, so I kind of had to stop that plan. No blushing just yet. It was kind of obvious. Yeah, let's just hope that it's been cooked by Perry. In fact, it probably has been cooked by Perry, actually. Oh, that's interesting. I think that could have been a little better, but the supports leading up to it were very good, so overall, yeah, that one is pretty good. And with that, here's the thing though, as much as I would really like... So one thing that I would really like to have done is, I mean, it's still possible, but if I did this much later in the game, I could pass down Warding Blow to Siegbert, and then Siegbert could get Warding Blow and Armored Blow at the same time, and that would be pretty amazing. But I guess Rally Speed isn't bad. This does mean that I might need to promote him to Great Knight again, even though I really wanted him to be Paladin, because apparently his Paladin battle model is kind of hilarious. Apparently it's just Xander's, but looking a little bit different. So, there are... Also, by the way, Oboro and Benny are up here because I decided I kind of wanted to grind them to level 20, just because. But I've got a few more Master Seals, and I'm wondering who I should use these on. And like I said before, I think I might want to use at least one of them on Arthur and Kagero. So, how many do I have? Let me just check. I've got 3. Well, that's kind of fine. I sort of want to use one on Azuma too, and mainly because, well, I want to use Effie a bit more. I haven't got their S support yet, and I kind of need to, so... I think they're the last non-royal one I have left, so yeah. But first, I'm kind of sorry, Carden, but... No, I've already used Arthur before, but never have I actually used Arthur when he had... Still, I mean, that 20 speed is with the meal boost, but that speed was about the speed that he had as a level 10 hero on my Conquest run, which is completely ridiculous. Like I said, I do have Selena, but, and I'm actually half tempted to see what how he does as a Berserker with his personal skill, but it's also going to be affecting him kind of negatively because of, yeah, the lowered critical evade of the class. So let's go Hero. I really wish, though, that the heroes that promote from Fighter could at least get to A axes, because it's kind of weird to have his axe rank cap so low for being a major axe specialist. And it's kind of also weird having his sword rank needing to start from something really low.
Show me what you've got.
Yes, Lady Luck is on his side this time, finally. In fact, I have 3 arm scrolls. You know what, I just really want him to be using better swords, and that's going to take ages normally, so... this feels like kind of a waste because I'm not really going to be using him in my main group, but... I kind of want to just give him, and again, stupid B axes. I kind of want to give him better swords, basically. Even though, I guess that Armor Slayer is kind of useless when he can use hammers. But how about some... That's interesting. I mean, it's a little tempting fate to try and rely on Arthur to dodge things, but... that's kind of interesting. No. Worm Slayer, though. Oh, we do have a Worm Slayer. Okay, I was wrong when I said we didn't. Interesting. And now, let's waste no time in... Where is Kagero? Is she even lower on this? Yeah, she is. Okay. So I am going to be promoting her to a different class than I usually did. So this time Mechanist, and she's going to really benefit from the extra strength. And she's got the hero mask, I just realized. And this is probably going to be a generic outfit. In fact, trailers showed her promoting to Mechanist. And that was the first time we ever saw the Mechanist class, actually. And yet revealed that she has a generic palette in it. -1 speed. You say that, but you have a generic palette. Anyway, and the third one, like I said, I think is going to be Azuma, even though I've already used him before, but he's just that good. Also, don't go on Myoji on Azuma, seriously, that makes no sense. I do really like how Azuma is one of the first healers who could promote to a physical class who actually does really well in it. So I get the feeling that if they ever remade Sacred Stones with more modern mechanics, Molder would make a really, really great physical priest. I still kind of wish females could be great masters, because Effie would do really, really well at it with a Heart Seal, and so would Azuma's daughter as the daughter of Effie. Yeah, unfortunately only starting out in E-Lances is kind of a problem, but I guess we can use the Raiden Naginata. Probably don't want to waste those physics. Do have quite a few of them though. I'm going to take one of those, because I am probably going to use him next chapter, because I need to grind that support. Speaking of which, Effie, you need some better lances. No, I'm on the wrong page. I guess I could go for a Steel Nugget. Don't know, she doesn't exactly really need the, could maybe take back a dual Naginata. Just realized I haven't actually used Shigure for a few chapters, but he is kind of high leveled. Don't really need the Iron Lance. And I'm on the wrong page again. Also, don't you... That might be alright on if Azuma's rank was a ton higher. Okay. Again, her defense is high enough as it is that she doesn't really need it. So, let's not use that. Do I have a Killer Lance that I can use? Well, I guess I could take that. Actually. How about you take that Beast Killer as well? For now, I think that's probably alright. And I'll sort out the rest of the stuff once we go to the next chapter. You know, I guess now that Arthur and Kagero are promoted, because I know they'll still be on arena duty here.
You've breathed your last.
It's kind of weird there. And I guess this time I can, you know what, just for the sake of it, let's bet Daikon again, and let's see how Kagero does. Really? Really? You have her fight against a super defensive enemy, even without the benefit of Poison Strike. Then again, though, she's doing a lot of damage.
Need a hand?
Don't both hit, please. Really? I guess Arthur's bad luck rubbed off on her. Well, we won the first time. So, let's move out to the next battle. And that would be not the Lost Forest, that would be, where is it? There it is, Hidden Bravery. This chapter is kind of interesting. Yeah. One of the few in fact, I think the only time on this route we're going to see Void Curse. Again, I don't know any of the later chapters, so I could be wrong there.